We want to talk boxing. Real boxing. TheBoxingVoice.com. The kid is back, and I ain't going nowhere. And all you motherfuckers out there watching this know who you see every fucking day.
Haymon.
My consistency is unmatched. You ain't been here 12 years in this shit, and I'ma be here tomorrow. I don't need no fucking deal. I don't need no fucking deal. I don't need no fucking deal. Niggas is gonna come listen to me because they gonna come listen to me.
Haymon.
Don't leave. Truth hurts, motherfuckers.
SDS Promotions.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Damn, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say this is a spontaneous show. You know we normally go live at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is 4 p.m. West Coast. We're a little behind schedule today because we had to get some big guests. We in Vegas, baby. Studio's on fucking fire, man. You're going to have to, listen, they're going to need an extinguisher in the booth when I'm done with this mic. That's a Benny Siegel throwback. I don't know if you remember. But this ring walk Danny over here to the left, he's back. Took over my hat.
We in here, champ. Did 5 hours this morning. Let's do another 5 tonight.
Damn, nah, I don't know about all that. Young Trav is like, bruh, I need and got places to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know about another fight.
Yo, you excited, man? We got one of the top amateurs in the building tonight.
Who's that?
I think I'm gonna wait for the fans to see.
What? But I mean, you called him a top amateur.
He's one of the top amateurs in the country. Comes from one of the most respected boxing families.
Is it? Can we say legendary? Is that name? No. Is it Chavez only? Like I don't know what. No, I don't know what.
I would say legendary.
I'm gonna put that in the chat. Is the Fernando?
You just gave it away.
Vargas. Oh, I gotta put a cap here. Take it away, buddy. What's up?
But yeah, we have son of legendary Fernando Vargas, Emiliano Vargas. He's the one son who has not turned professional yet. He is, like I said, one of the top amateurs in the country. We have him on tonight. And we also have
Andre Berto.
Mr. Berto.
Yo, and he's a Floridian.
He is a Floridian.
But doesn't he live here on the West Coast now?
No, I'm pretty sure he's still out there in Florida. Maybe
No.
Cali? Is he in Cali?
You sure?
He's not in Vegas. I was almost certain he was still in Florida. But we'll be able to get him to talk about, fellow Floridian. One time. Obviously, Keith Thurman fight week here in Las Vegas. Mandalay Bay. Fox pay-per-view. And pretty excited about that.
I am as well.
Yo, what's it like to be in Vegas and just have like all these fighters to just access? Like, oh yeah, just come by the studio.
Well, a little early for that, right? I don't know that I can say access like that. I think right now we're having, it's like the weather, and we're having a bit of good weather right now. Because I've been in this business for so long. I know that guests are up and down. Show business is show business. Someone will say they could come through and then something happens. Hopefully that's not the case.
But I'm saying compared to like previous, right?
Mm-hmm.
Compared to the past, it's definitely new, something different. Versus just saying like, oh yeah, just come by the house, Now we have a studio space.
Uh-huh. I'm listening. About the studio space?
So, I don't know. I just think it's pretty dope. We had, 10 guests this morning, it seemed like?
Wow. It was a lot of guests. It was, we had Luke Santamaria, welterweight, taking on Abel Ramos on the Keith One Time Thurman pay-per-view this Saturday. And then we had
Mickey Bay.
Mickey Bay. Tevin Farmer
Tevin
via
Farmer
Zoom.
Via Zoom.
Yes. We actually had a lot of people.
Hopefully, we built that fight up to the point where it does happen.
No, I think that we did. I seen that. Shout out to Blue Blood. I seen Blue Blood also had Mickey Bay, and his thumbnail was a split of Mickey and
Tevin.
Exactly. So it's picking up traction.
No, absolutely.
And guess where it started?
The Boxing Boys.
And right here in Sticky Paul Studio. Shout out to Trav, the young producer.
Thanks.
Shout out to Trav, absolutely. And then we also had Kenny Porter.
Damn, that was official for real.
We had Kenny Porter, two of his fighters, the Montgomery brothers.
Yes.
So that was great.
You're right. I got to take that back. You said, how does it feel to have this access? You're right, because, we interviewed Ken, and then we went to have lunch. We're living the dream. We interviewed Ken, went to have lunch.
Then you were sitting in Ken's
went
Corvette.
to his gym to see them spar. He let us record the sparring, so Sparring Wars will be uploaded soon. And then he brings his Corvette. He knows I'm obsessed with the Corvette. He brings his Corvette. It's exactly the way that I want it, except for the interior, right? Like, I'm not, me and Bo and Bama, he was helping me with it. And, I'm like, I don't want the black and red. I want that all red. That all red pops. But, nonetheless, Ken invited us to the gym. We got to see the Montgomery brothers spar. I really like what I saw from 50 Cal. Were you paying attention?
No,
I like 50.
Absolutely.
50's a puncher. Bro, to be 127 pounds and be backing up 140 pounders the way that he was, 50's a puncher, without a doubt. And I mean, again, just having them in studio and being able to turn that into a gym meeting exclusive. It was just us, no other media. We got to, record sparring,
Which, by the way,
he looked into the camera and was like, "Oh, you want me to do the?" And he's mocking, obviously, these trainers that do a bunch of fast bippity boppity pad work. You know what I mean?
Which, by the way, very few people allow sparring to be recorded.
Very few.
Like, very. So I probably could count on both hands the number of times I've been allowed to record sparring in the last
decade.
Well, since I've been around, last 4 or 5 years or so. So that was great. Shout out to Ken Porter. Shout out to his Corvette. Shout out to the Montgomery brothers. Hey, Ohio boxing is hot, man. People need to start. The Mason brothers too. I know you called one of the Mason brothers fights down in Atlanta.
Yes.
The Mason brothers.
I'm shocked that one is not signed. It's the younger one who was signed to James Princeton Top Rank.
That's for a reason.
I get you. Yeah. I get you. He's obviously declarated. What I mean is, the brother I seen is good. I'm shocked that they haven't signed him as well. Like, we see other relatives get signed, and not be good. So I don't know. That was just and it's so many of them. You figured once one opened the door, everybody would come through, but it didn't work out that way. Not yet, anyway, not yet. But so far, for our live chat, I asked a poll question. It just started. And the question, obviously, what we were speaking of, is the Fernando Vargas name a legendary name in boxing? And 64% already are saying yes. So, yeah, Emiliano coming in with a legendary name. So we settled that. We talked about this at lunch, how you say something and then I make it a super bigger, a bigger topic.
Right.
I just did that, right? Like, but whatever.
It works.
It worked.
It works.
It worked for this particular time, I think, because it was a worthy question, I guess, because there is an advantage to having a name in this sport.
I think there's an advantage if you allow it to be an advantage, right? There was an advantage.
Allow? Why wouldn't you as a fighter? Well, why wouldn't you take the road that's been given to you?
In taking the road, though, you also have to put the work in. You also have to know what comes with that, right? Mm-hmm. So, it worked to an extent for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
Until it didn't.
Well, I don't know that we can blame that on the name, right? Because Chavez was good or disciplined, I would say, at one point, you know, and then that stopped, you know. But maybe you're right. Maybe he just never was good, and that's why like Bob was doing like John Duddy pay-per-views with him. I don't know, you know, because you know they stripped Martinez rather than let Chavez fight Martinez for the belt. They stripped Martinez, let Julio Cesar Chavez fight Sebastian Zvick for the belt.
Which they wouldn't allow.
Whatever happened to Zvick?
Which they wouldn't allow Sergio Martinez. They wouldn't allow him to defend his title against him on HBO. And once they stripped him, they allowed Chavez Jr. to fight him for the title on HBO.
Crazy, bro.
Funny.
Crazy. Well, and that's, again, full circle, the legendary name.
Right.
The legendary name. And that's what I mean. That's an advantage in the sport. You see, he got the advantage. The champion couldn't fight the challenger Zvick on HBO, but the legendary name could absolutely get that fight on HBO.
Of course.
And he got it in Texas, right? Wasn't it Texas?
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please.
Let me check
I love Dirty Canelo. Yo.
English-speaking, golf-playing Canelo.
No, potty mouth Canelo, bro. That dude is amazing, potty mouth Canelo. I love that guy. So did you see his Instagram post today? You know I'm on everything. I think I showed it to you in the car, and he's like, no boxing, no golf. Excuse me, no golf, no life. That wasn't intended neither. Like, I literally forgot that he said no golf, no life. Like, that's where it's at with this guy now. It's no more no boxing, no life. He's now a full-time golfer, man.
Well, you know, he's currently playing Pebble Beach, the AT&T Pro-Am. And, I mean, he's decked out in the no golf, no life swag, right? The gear. So it's cool to see. You know, he turned a hobby and took it extremely serious and is now able to compete against other top-playing celebrities and athletes and whatnot. So...
yeah, man. So, obviously, I think we should go ahead and get Emiliano Vargas on.
Absolutely.
And have a little conversation with him because I know Andre Berto's also on the way. So, young Trav, let them know to bring in somebody.
And for those who may not know, the older brother, Fernando Vargas Jr., he will be on the undercard of Keith Thurman this weekend at Mandalay Bay. Fox pay-per-view, like I said. $75 well spent.
Yes. What? What?
You got to support the sport, bro.
You got to support the Vargas family.
You got to support it. You got to support it. Tickets still available. So if you guys are in Vegas and want to come check out the fights, make sure to get there in time to watch Fernando Vargas Jr. on the Keith Thurman Mario Barrios undercard this weekend, Saturday night, Mandalay.
Man, I like the way he emphasized that. Mario Barrios.
Absolutely.
Man, you picking Barrios over Thurman? Is that what's going on here?
I don't pick fights.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I learned that myself, man.
You know,
Emiliano, how are you?
We're good.
Oh, turn him up in the mic.
You hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
Damn, it's so lovely to have a producer. Like, turn him up in the headphones, please.
There we are. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming, man.
Hey, I didn't even know it was the boxing voice. I follow you guys on Instagram.
Oh, thank you, man. We follow you back. I am sure of that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. So happy to have you. Thank you first and foremost for coming out. It's not that late, but you definitely have your family in the bubble, so you could be doing a bunch of things. So we appreciate you taking out the time to come on the show and talk a little boxing with us.
For sure. No, fight week is always hectic, man. I mean, you know, my brothers, like you said, are in the bubble right now. And, you know, I'm usually the fighter, but I'm playing assistant right now, you know, helping my brothers. And I think it's beautiful, man, because when I need them, you know, they're obviously there. And when they need me, I'm there. So after this, you know, I'll probably take them some things, you know, because they can't leave. But it's fight time. It's Vargas fight time, baby, at the Mandalay Bay this weekend. If you're out here in Vegas, be sure to check it out, and we appreciate the support.
Look at this guy. Natural behind the mic, huh?
Yo, let me tell you, that's extremely important. We've been talking about numerous fighters and why I'm talking about championship level fighters, champions that just don't sell. And a lot of it has to do with what we're doing right now. They just don't know how to speak when a microphone is put in front of them. So that's really important. Obviously, you're the one brother who has not made their professional debut yet. Right. It's coming.
17 years old, right?
Yeah. 17 years old.
To be young.
Yeah, man.
You look so mature, though. I will,
Thank you.
I will definitely say that. I don't think you can. I mean, I wouldn't know that you're 17 right off the bat without you telling me. I think. What about you?
Did you get your teeth done?
No, I had braces for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I had braces for like the majority of my life.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Actually, it's funny because back then, bro, it looked like God, grabbed my teeth and threw them into my mouth like dice. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like dice.
Yeah, I'm saying, nobody blew on it. He just threw it, and it is what it is. I remember being younger and getting teased about it. Certain girls like, "Hey, you chewing gum?" It was because I had teeth behind teeth.
Oh,
and later on,
look at you
dentists,
now.
we're all good. But aside from that, man, I'm just I'm touching like what you were saying about some fighters that just can't sell. I was actually talking to my guy over here about it, and it's a blessing. One, because my father has always been charismatic and has always been a people pleaser. With the fans and, even me being younger, looking at my father, obviously, how he would handle the public. And, man, it could get tiring sometimes,
Absolutely.
It could take us, 45 to an hour just to leave, some fights, when we're trying to get out somewhere. But, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing that, a God-given blessing that, mass appeal. It's a beautiful thing to see. And thankfully, because of my father, we're having that traction behind us as well, so we'll be able to make our own fans. And, the more we fight, the more the fans see what we're doing, because we can fight. If there's one thing we could do on this earth is fight, so we're excited and we're grateful that we have the public behind us,
I have to ask, obviously there's so much talk about all three of you. And one thing I love seeing is how much you guys not just support each other, but are there for each other. You guys could be on the beach on vacation and you guys are working on combinations and things like that. I live here in Vegas. I've been around a lot of the gyms. I've been able to see you guys spar a lot. Wow. And you guys spar everybody, it seems like. I got to ask, which one's the best brother right now?
Wow, that's such a horrible question to ask.
Not a horrible question.
That's a straight shot question, but I feel like that's for the fans. I feel like that's for the fans to decide. I honestly think, we all just learn from each other because, we're all the same but so different. We got my brother, Amado, the curly Q, with the curls,
Right.
Also, we're all just all different. Junior, especially with boxing styles, not just stilos, but just boxing styles. Like Amado, he loves to come forward. We gotta tell him sometimes we gotta box. We gotta be smart. Because kid hits hard, man. Believe me, I spar with him. So kid hits hard. He knows he hits hard, and sometimes that could be a problem for some fighters. And
look at this mature man.
Amazing.
Nah, but it's just all three of us, man. We learn from each other so much, and obviously I've had the privilege to have two older brothers, so I'm able to learn from their mistakes, and I'm there to see what to do, what not to do, and not just them, but my father as well, man. This boxing sport is very dirty. Nobody has to tell you that. It's just very grimy, dirty sport. Ellie Setback actually said it best. There was he was next to a manager, I think, in Wild Card Gym. And he gets a call from a sponsor and tells him, hey, they tell him, all right, we got $150,000 sponsorship for your fighter. Then he calls this fighter, hey, we got $100,000 or $75,000 sponsorship for you. And then after that, he keeps the rest of it, right? And then he still gets his 10% or 20% sometimes, even
from
off
that
the 75. So it's not just the managers, man. It's just the whole boxing thing is shook up. But for me as a fighter, probably after boxing, whatever the case may be, I kind of want to take that upon myself and try to, because I've seen it, man. A lot of fighters end up with nothing. And you're a racehorse at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
What they do with racehorses, they shoot them in the head at the end of the day. When you can't run no more, when you're uncoherent, you can't speak. When it's a tough sport, man. But there's no reward without risk at the end of the day.
The reason I asked you that was because I was in the gym one time at Capetillos, and Shakur was in there, and Amado sparred him, and Junior was there as well. I forget if he sparred anybody or not, but I was interviewing both of them together, and I asked the question, like, just teasing, but kind of curious to pick their brains. And each individual, both Junior and Amado, they gave the credit to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Gave you credit, gave him, each other credit. So it's just kind of nice to see, how much you guys respect each other, because it seems like you said in the sport, a lot of time when you start to get that fame and that publicity, a lot of that stuff is forgotten. So,
family, right?
Absolutely, family and just the people that were there for you,
man.
From the beginning. So I just love seeing it. And like I said, all the social media posts, you guys are always, no matter where you are.
We're always together, man, and it's a beautiful thing. We always. Hey, what's going on, champ? That's the champ.
Jump on in.
Good.
What's going on? I'm good. So we've just been joined by the former champion Andre Berto, and obviously I have Emiliano Vargas here, man. So I wanted to ask you, because I posed the question in our live chat, and I said, is that Fernando Vargas name legendary? And most people, you guys are obviously 67% people believe that name is legendary. Do you feel your name is legendary already? And is that also an added burden because of the name?
Well, I mean, look, everybody's going to have an opinion. We appreciate everybody who's, obviously supported us even now. I believe it has to be. Fighters are often forgotten about. And it is a blessing that even until this day, my dad is still remembered. And because of that, me and my brothers are able to have a platform. But on your second question, is it a burden? I feel like it's what you make it. We're all dealt with certain cards. A lot of people don't know that I have asthma and I still box. And it's I could be wheezing or whatever the case may be. I love to box. Nothing was ever forced, and I just fell in love with the sport. I love punching people, and I don't see it as a burden. I see it as an opportunity for me to showcase my abilities at the highest, form of boxing. Everywhere I want to get to, my father's been.
Absolutely.
And he's waiting with the sack lunch just to give me advice and just to, hey, son, do this. Don't do this, but we appreciate everybody's opinion, but everybody has an opinion.
For sure. Well, I'm not even going to introduce or talk to Andre Berto. I know you've been waiting for this, so go ahead and we'll pick it up from there.
If you don't know, now you know. This is the champ, Andre Berto, man. This is the first time I'm meeting you in person for sure.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
I've seen you from afar a lot, man, and it's just I follow you on IG and see everything that you're doing. And
I've been seeing you do your thing too now.
I appreciate that.
I've been seeing him. I said, okay.
Yeah, even after boxing, what you're doing with YouTube and everything like that.
Cooking show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man, I just think it's important, bro. I mean, of course, me and other guys like Andre Ward and like I said, we're very close, and that's always been something that me and Al Haymon and other people we've always spoken about, of really just trying to be these catalysts for these young boys to see that, okay, we had a great career, or we've been having great fights, whatever the case may be, but man, it doesn't stop here. This right here is just a pedestal, something else. Yeah. So, the only way to show them is to show them, be that example. So we got a lot of great things going on outside the ring too. And we got some big things coming. So you know it's gonna be fun.
Big things outside the ring. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna always be boxing first. And
for sure.
I want to believe 6 months ago,
Yeah.
your name was on the WBA. I went crazy.
My name is
you.
always-
You was on the top 10 WBA. I said, "Oh shit, they trying to set Berto up with a fight with Tank." I promise you,
What?
that's all I was thinking.
Really?
That's all I was thinking. Is I was talking to
didn't hear
LB, and I'm like, he's like, "Yeah, don't put it past Tank. He could go to welterweight." I said, "It gotta be Berto."
I've never heard that.
Yeah, and then all of a
never
sudden,
heard
listen, it went from Berto to Thurman, and I'm
Yeah.
sure you've seen that
Yeah.
Leonard LB. Oh, we'll call him in a
I seen
nanosecond,
that.
but it started with you being
Did
on
it?
WBA rankings, and you've been out of the ring for like 3 years, no?
I think
4
it is.
years.
No, probably about
And then they
3
just
years.
put you up there. Come on, what you got cooking,
Listen,
champ?
man, I got I got some
you cooking
pull.
something more
I
than
got,
just in that
you
kitchen
know,
over there on
you know,
YouTube, man.
I got pull and I got. That's how I've been in this game for a minute. So we got some. Good
So you
people
getting the
downstairs.
itch?
I mean, like it's hard not to have the itch. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we gotta. We have to try to, do things different from time to time because we know that, just me, myself, I just know just my family or my people just aren't watching me. I know it's a great reason why a guy like Andre Ward did what he did. A lot of people would see him and say, "Oh man, you still got so much left. You leaving on top of the game.
They
You
want
still-
him back.
You still young." Da-da-da-da-da.
You see them calling for him and Canelo?
Of course.
They want him back.
Of course, by the end of the
Who
day,
don't miss him though?
For sure, but at the end of the day, man, we've been doing this for 30 some odd years, and it's great to give a lot to the game, but we can't give all of it to the game. You see a lot of fighters, they give everything to it.
You were just
You know what I'm
speaking
saying?
about that.
Make it-
Left punch drunk.
They give
His
everything.
metaphor was more. You said
Uncoherent.
race horses.
Yeah, man. What they
Sure.
do with the racehorse, they shoot them at the end. You
Man,
know,
it's- in this game here, man, it's unforgiving. So you can be great all you want, but when they finish with you, they finish with you. You know what I mean? On to the next. Of course, you have your legends, of course, like his father.
Appreciate
You know what I
that.
mean? But at the end of the day, man, like this is a game that's unforgiving. You're going to see that wear and tear on a lot of guys. And at the center, and they're going to throw you to the side and be hyped on the next. So you got to kind of pick and choose, your poison, of course, man. Like I said, we love the game. Me and Dre talk about it all the time. He talks about him having that itch all the time, but getting back. You know what I'm saying? But
I see the sparring posts you
you know
be
what I'm saying? All
putting
the-
up.
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. They
So-
getting me excited, man.
You know what I mean? So like I say, we'll see, man. Of course, everybody that follows me on IG, they know I'm still in the gym every day.
Awesome.
I'm grinding in a lot of different ways. So like I said, we're gonna see.
Is
If it made money, it made sense.
Is it muscle memory, the love? Like what keeps you in the gym even though you haven't been active and you don't really have any intention at the moment?
Like for me, I was raised that way. Anybody that knows my story, they know my father has been, a tremendous part of my, life and career. You know what I mean? He was the type of guy as well that he just stayed up, every morning. Like this was part of our routine, just as men. This is what you need to do. You make sure your body and your mind is right, not just for your sport, for your family and everything else. So, I just pretty much just carry that. I just carry that same routine. Me, my brothers, my sisters. When we go back in town, we go see our mom, in Florida. The first thing all of us do early in the morning, we hit the gym. It's just,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what we do. So, I think, what it comes down to it, like it's more of us, just always being prepared for life. You know what I mean? Period. We see a lot of great athletes as soon as they retire, they're done. They don't work out anymore. They don't do this anymore. You see them. They get messed up real quick. They get big real quick. I don't think it should be that way. You know what I mean? This right here is a lifelong marathon sport. You know what I'm saying? We just need to be ready for whatever, anytime. You know what I mean? All the time.
Well, you brought up Florida, and I got to get your thoughts with this fight with Keith one time. Thurman, the other
man.
Floridian. I'm a Floridian now. I've been living in Florida for a year. Bought my
Really?
second house out there. Yeah, man, I love it.
All right,
I
then.
love it, man. I
All
love
right,
it.
you know
But
what it
now I got to come to Vegas for the studio. But
You know what it is.
I miss that heat, man.
Man,
So
Florida
warm
different.
in Florida.
Florida different, man.
Yeah, man.
Vegas is it's too dry for me.
Too cold, man. It's
Yeah,
cold
too
out here for
cold.
me,
It's
man.
cold. It's freezing out here. This shit's crazy. Nah, Florida.
But
Florida's
both of you guys. I don't know which one you want to go first. Barrios versus Thurman. The betting line is insanely close.
Really?
I feel disrespected. I'm a Thurman fan.
Man, I'm a Thurman fan. Of course, I grew up with Keith, and I know what he can do. But at the same time, of course, I've been in camp, with Barrios over there with Verge for the last few years. So I know what Barrios.
Right. Oh, man, you're in a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, man. So, I know what Barrios can do too. And I know that he's been draining himself tremendously to make 140. I mean, he's a big boy.
Oh, man, you about to scare me.
You know what I'm saying? He's a big boy. He's 6'10", 6'11". I mean, he's tall.
No, 5'10". I mean, 5'.
I'm tripping. But now he's going to be able to.
Damn, he going up against Fury next.
Right? That's what I'm saying. But now he's going to be able to fill out and be strong. And like I said, you've seen his few fights before then. He a dog. So, we're going to be able to see. Because like I said, of course, I'm a Keith fan, but he's been out the ring for, 2 years now.
30 months.
You know what I mean?
30 months.
This as long as he's ever been out the ring. But he has that dog in him, man. So we're going to see. But I think it's going to be a good fight. For a lot of people that's just, brushing Barrios to the side, I think that's a big mistake.
Who do you feel has more pressure going into the fight? Obviously.
Let him in.
Oh, go ahead.
Yo, he don't want to hear you.
I'm cool with it.
Is it going to be some Mexican bias?
Nah, I think. Look, I think the layoff.
It's okay.
Like you were saying.
It's okay. This sport is very tribal.
For sure.
130%. I'll tell you that for sure. But I think that layoff, man, is gonna have something to do with it. I've been out 6 months and felt it. So it's like, I don't know. And I'm fighting, amateurs and stuff like that. So just for me, I think that layoff is gonna be it.
It's just too much.
I think. Look, Keith Thurman, he's a hell of a fighter, man. You can never count him out. He's a dog. He's in there. He's on you most of the time. So I don't think no bias. I think I got Barrios, man. I got Barrios.
I think when it comes down to it, as a man, when life comes into play, he's married now.
Oh,
he has a kid now.
Yeah.
He's feeling that different type of, love at home. So we're going to really see if he still, after he takes those shots, if he's going to try to bite back or he's going to, oh man, shit, I got my wife, I got my kid at home, man. I want to tuck it in. So, you know what I mean? But like I said, I know Keith, and I know Keith is a dog.
Yo, they used to call him the Keith Thurman test in the gym.
The
Keith Thurman test. He said anybody came through the gym, they had to spar Keith one time Thurman.
That was Keith. Like,
that hunger can't be gone. I want to believe he's still there somewhere.
Listen, he probably is. Like I said, we're going to see. Like I said, Keith is a dog, man. I've been around him my whole life. I see him knock out the biggest guys in the gym. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, life comes into play, man, and we got to see what it is.
Damn. Let's talk about the glove situation because you know him personally.
What happened?
Definitely.
You know him personally, and obviously you're also a fighter.
I think my dad's walking out Barrios, actually.
Oh,
man.
Yeah, he said no bias, huh?
I ain't got nothing to do with it. My pops, I think Mario hit him up. Which is really cool, man.
It is.
Asking my dad for advice,
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he was asking my dad for advice. I think
this is a beautiful podcast right here.
So, giving you guys a little inside scoop.
Yes.
So, yeah, man. So it was, like I said, my dad's going to be walking him out. And, hopefully he takes some game plans from my dad. And if not, we'll see what's up. But you were saying?
No, both of you guys' opinion. Keith came out maybe a week or two ago saying that Barrios' team requested 10-ounce gloves. Obviously, it's a welterweight fight. We know historically, 147 and down, fight eights. 154, anything north of 147 is 10 ounces. Spoke to Keith about it yesterday, and I spoke to him first. Keith said, basically, in the state of Nevada, if one fighter does not agree with the weight of the glove, then, so in this case, the 8-ounce glove, they would have to fight in the 10-ounce gloves.
Wow.
That's in the state of Nevada. Everything insinuating that it was Barrios and his team that requested it. I spoke to Barrios immediately after. He said, that's cap. He said that's cap. It was Thurman's team that requested the 10-ounce gloves.
That's crazy.
He said I'm cool with the ace. He said I didn't ask for the ace. They asked for the. They asked for,
So
I
here
asked for
I
the 10.
am stirring the pot. You and I'm putting my name in there because I know, but he know more than me. Thurman's had some hand issues. So if anybody wants more cushion for that pushing, it might be Thurman with the fragile hands.
Yeah, but
on one hand, you got Barrios moving up, and he's like, I never fought a welterweight.
But it's like, like I said, like Keith is a puncher though. So all of us, we want to wear the smallest gloves possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know Keith wants to try to hurt Barrios, period. So I don't know.
What about you in the fact that Barrios is moving up, and maybe by asking for bigger gloves, he doesn't feel the power of Thurman as much?
I think, look, if you're a puncher, man. You can put on 14s, 16s, 18s. You're going to feel it, But I don't know, man. He said what? He said it was cap?
Barrios did, yeah. He said that's cap. He said we didn't request the 10-ounce gloves. It was Thurman's team.
I actually got sent a video that I didn't have an opportunity to watch, but they told me that Keith is now doubling down, saying Barrios' team lied.
Wow. That's what I'm saying. Like Keith, really, he wouldn't even have a reason to do that. I mean, you fighting a guy that's moving up. So you gonna want to, he's gonna be lighter. So you want to try to.
He's gonna also be more hydrated in the sense that he doesn't have to cut those 7 extra pounds that he's been cutting.
Yes.
And this whole campaign at 140. It is interesting, right? Because for the last week and a half up until yesterday, everybody was under the impression it was Barrios' team that requested that change. So now, now he's capped. What I think it is? Whoever comes out in winning gloves, that's who requested it. That's who requested it.
Yo, but they might take the label off like Tank.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna know.
Floyd does that a lot with all that winning gear. He just takes it off.
Man.
How was that though? Something I always wanted to ask you. How just the magnitude of that fight, man.
Which one?
Floyd,
man. Which one? Fight, man.
Which one?
Hey, no, but hey, you've been known for a lot of battles, man. A lot of people say you fight like a Mexican.
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
With heart, man. And hey, I think they need to give Haitians, their own thing. Fighting like a Haitian too, man. Because Haitian. I got a lot of friends that are Haitian too. Hey, I'm like, hey, bro, I think you're Mexican, hey,
bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know, but we from, everybody know how Haiti gets down, and we from a place where, it's kill or be killed there.
Absolutely.
Still right now at this point. So, so it's like the fact of, me, like where I even grew up, our pops was like, listen, if you gonna do this, you gotta, you know what I mean? It's for everybody. So just me just always walking in the ring, just saying, just knowing I had not just my family, the country on my back,
awesome.
and just understanding the way that we grew up, with nothing. It was nothing. Just this other guy across the ring. I've ever been through that I've been through. So
were you born in Haiti?
I wasn't born in Haiti.
Oh, okay. Did you live out there for?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I was born in Miami, raised in Central Florida, but of course been going back and forth to Haiti since I've been young. You know what I mean? I've been taking care of family.
I'm Dominican. That's why I asked. I wasn't
my brother right here.
Yeah, man.
This is my brother right
Yo,
here.
I wasn't born there like you. I was born over here. But I go back, man, and the povity's insane in the Dominican Republic. So I could only imagine in Haiti, bro. It's insane out there. And congratulations to you. I guess it's not a congratulations, but just shout out to you. When everything happened out there, you were out there in full force, man. You've done a lot, man.
Man,
I'm sitting here looking at you, and damn, I'm just flashing back through all the years, bro. You've been doing it for a minute, man. I think we was talking about it 2 days ago, how you were like one of the first guys to really be making it on HBO with Al Haymon, man.
Like I say, it bugs me out too, because I get a lot of these young boys call me for advice. If it's whoever it is, these young champions, they always on the phone. Hey man, OG, I need it. I'm like, OG. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I still feel young, man. I still running around. Of course, they see me in the streets, moving around, do what I do. So it's crazy, man. It's almost been about 19 years now.
I was gonna say I don't even think Emiliano was
Bro, I
born.
haven't even been alive that,
Right, I was gonna say I don't
17
even
years
think
old, you know
I
what I'm
don't even
saying?
think he was born when you made your pro debut.
That's crazy, man.
You made it December of 04, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And you know what? When he
lit.
said you've been in some fights, people, and I'm just thinking back, bro. Your fight with Collazo,
Yeah, that was a good one.
that was a good
That was a
one.
good one.
Bruh, then we was talking about Gary Russell, and it reminded me of your fight with Carras with one arm.
Yeah.
Bro, and then obviously you got the 2 fights with Victor, which were insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was
yo,
crazy.
you do have some.
Yeah, I think at the
Fights,
same
bro.
time, man, it's like I seem to forget sometime, but it's like, you know what I mean, just like you said, I was like one of the first young kids to kind of really burst on the HBO scene, heavy. And, you know, I kind of forget about a lot of that stuff, man. I'm just,
Bro, you
know what
fought
I mean? It's
Freddie
crazy.
Hernandez
It's crazy.
on HBO.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And back then it was reported. Obviously, we don't know, but it was reported a million back then, man.
Yeah, everything was popping back then, man. We had things cracking back then. Like if we had social media back then.
I'm so happy to have you here. You don't know, I'm sorry, I'm picking your brain because
Good.
I look at your career as like you were one of Al Heyman's favorites. Like he showed up to your fight in Connecticut, bro. Like some people don't never even meet this man.
Don't even see him.
I mean,
He's a ghost.
I've been talking to fighters for 12 years now, and I've been in the room with Al more than them.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, like I want to know, how'd you meet him, and what was it? How'd you click that? Like he made sure you got that Floyd fight, bro.
Yeah, I
2
mean-
times. Like he tried to do it with the Connecticut thing, and obviously.
That was the first time that it was supposed to happen.
Exactly.
People don't know that.
I know.
People don't realize that. I was going to fight him before the Victor fight years ago. And then,
It's crazy.
you know, we spoke, and he threw the Victor Ortiz fight at me first. I'm like, listen, bro, if Floyd want to fight, we need to fight. All of these playing games, like, I don't know this kid, Victor. I mean, this doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm next up. This the fight everybody talking about. Let's go. They threw the fight in front of me. I'm living in Atlanta. I'm mad. You know, Al calling me about it. I'm pissed off, talking to him crazy. I'm just, You know, when they called me to come down to camp, I'm like, man, fuck this fight, man. I get down to camp probably 4 or 5 weeks out. 4 or 5 weeks out, about 175. So I spent the whole time dropping that weight. I don't know too much about Victor. The only fight I've seen the Victor when he got knocked out by Maidana. So I'm like, man, you know, they put me through the ringer, but let me go ahead and clean this boy out, and we're gonna see what's gonna happen. Didn't train for it. You know, everybody was in camp with me. They knew what time it was, but just me being me, just feeling like I was invincible at the time, young, strong, fast, just naturally.
You had a lot of power, bro.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, okay, whatever. Man, I walk into that fight. That's the first fight, to be honest. This is the first time me saying this.
We got that exclusive.
That's really the first fight that I went into a fight where I was really nervous because I felt like I didn't prepare like I needed to, and you know, just really thinking that anything could happen. I'm like, damn, I'm really not in shape for this fight.
And you knew he had pop. He did drop Maidana 3 times.
I wasn't even thinking about that. No, I was thinking about me. I never used to go into a fight really worried about, the other person. It was like, okay, I knew if I was 100%, nobody can stand in front of me, especially then. So going into that fight, that was the first time I was really nervous before a fight. I'm in the back dressing room, I'm like, man, okay, this and that. We get ready to walk out. Man, I look over to the right, I see Floyd. I think 50 was there. I was like, way up here in Connecticut? Like, what's going on? I'm just seeing
50 had a mansion in Connecticut at that time.
I'm seeing random celebrities at this fight in this bullshit little area in Connecticut. I'm like, why everybody here? I jump in the ring. I see Victor bouncing up and down on the other side of the ring looking like a dog, like just swelled up and just, I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm looking to the side. I'm seeing everybody. I'm like, okay, shit, we got to go. You know what I mean? I just knew automatically as soon as the fight happened, man, that switch was gonna go off in me to just fight. You know, but like I said, I knew I wasn't in shape for that fight, and I think that's the only thing that he really got me in that fight was he just pushed the pace. And a few shots I hit him with, I don't know how he got up from. You know what I'm saying? But you know, but it is what it was. And after that fight, I was sick.
I was just gonna talk about the first 6 rounds of that fight were insane.
Bro,
Like-
first few, like you went down in the first round.
That's
Like to
crazy.
me, that's one of like
That was crazy.
one of those notches on your belt because he's a puncher.
But he didn't even hit me with a shot. That's the crazy thing about it. He just rushed me so quick. And at the time, I just, everything was happening so fast. That was like I said, that was the first fight where I didn't go in there confident in myself because I wasn't ready. And he just ran across the ring. And you know, like it was really just to slow the pace down that I went down. I went down on one knee like, okay, I need to slow this shit down. Everything happening real quick. And you know, okay, I really just had to get my gatherings. And after that, I'm like, all right, cool, let's go.
People don't get that it's mental, man.
Yeah, man, it was.
don't get that.
It was a full mental game for me that night, man. It was crazy how I felt going into that fight.
You come back in the
saying?
second round,
Yeah,
drop him,
yeah.
crazy.
and then in the 6th round, y'all both go down.
That shot I hit him with, he shouldn't have got up. That shit, like he shouldn't have got up from that. You know
But that's
saying?
what I'm saying. It's crazy that you said you didn't like you went into it not really knowing because people, you know, a lot of fighters get a bad rap, and Victor was one of those guys. You know, that Maidana fight, people treated him as a quitter, but they both went down 3 times, man.
Yeah, but
like
it's
that's
like,
that's a dog
But
fight.
my thing is, it's like that shot I hit him with, he shouldn't have got up.
He's thinking
How
about
big
it.
and just aggressive he was that fight. Nobody ever seen him like that again.
Bro, but you know what was dangling? The same thing that was dangling for you. He ended up getting it too after that.
I don't know, man.
So I gotta ask because you said he shouldn't have got up from that
He
shot.
shouldn't have got up from
Now
that shit.
I feel that
Replay that shit again on your computer.
Hey, Trav, pull it up for us, please.
Pull it up, please, in slow motion.
But a shot that people felt he should have got up from was in the rematch.
Of course.
And I wanted to ask,
It was different.
Did you feel like, obviously many years had passed since,
Bro.
but did you feel like disappointed, like for real, that like that's what you're gonna do?
Man, after that fight, I still remember going, right after the fight, me and my family went to go eat. There's a table of like 20 people. I'm just sitting there like this. My mom, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? My dad asked me, what's up with you? What's going on, man? You just got finished winning this fight. I sat down, I was like, that should have happened the first fight. You know what I mean? That's what I told him. Like, that shit should have happened the first fight. You know what
And
I
that
mean?
was what, 6 years?
6 years
6
later.
years later.
And they were throwing trash at him, man.
They were throwing trash and shit at him, man, because like I said, I knew what type of person he was as soon as you really start pushing the gas on him. And that fight there, I was so motivated for it because I got so sidetracked so much, throughout my career, because of that loss. Because to be transparent, as a fighter, like I say, it's 90% mental. And for you to be a young 100%. Stud and feeling like you're invincible and the whole world loving you at the time and going through that type of situation, like it messed with me mentally. You know what I mean? I remember after that fight, just going home, really trying to lock myself in the house and just trying to get away from the noise because I really felt like everybody watching that fight, which everybody did. But I'm in my house, I turn on ESPN, it's on ESPN, it's on the newspaper. Everybody in town talking about it. And like a week later, just to get away from everything, I booked a flight, me, my cousins, my brother, I flew to Bali for like 2 weeks.
Damn.
Ask Ludabella. I flew to Bali for like 2 weeks just to get away from anything any type of American news. I had to get away from just calming on down, man.
I gotta ask you, how was that vacation, though?
It was amazing.
I'm dying to go to Bali, man.
It was amazing. It was amazing.
That's like a 30-hour flight, right, to Indonesia?
Yeah, but I didn't care.
No, right.
Yeah, at the time, you just don't care, man, because at the time, I just really just tried to get away from the noise because, and that's one thing I talk to, I see with a lot of young guys now, like my guy, like Adrian Broner, I spoke to him about it as well. When you're young, and I was just like that. I wanted to seek, so much attention from people. I wanted everybody to know that I was the man. I did everything possible, even if it's going to parties, just being where celebrities were and just being everywhere so they can, I just really try to recognize me as the young champion coming up. But when the tables turn, those same eyes that you begging to see and, just begging for them to, just look at you and they see you fucked up. It's a different type of feeling too. You know what I'm saying? So, it definitely comes with, a lot of the other shit too, man. So,
My pops was talking about the same thing with his fight with Trinidad, man.
Yeah.
He felt, invincible, man. And hey, we're not gonna get into whether he had stuff in his gloves or not,
Yeah.
and then they got popped by Hopkins the later fights, but just just losing that fight and he felt Mexico versus Puerto Rico, he felt like it was like he let his people down.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, like when you got a whole country behind you riding for you, it's like you may feel like that, like you let everybody down. And my dad kind of got into a depression of sort of, and started drinking and this and that, but man, it just, this boxing is so mental. It's crazy, man. That's what people don't get.
It's so mental, man. People don't realize. Like I said, the same thing. Say like with the girl, the MMA girl. What's her name?
Ronda Rousey.
When she lost that fight, and and Ronda was so confident every fight, like ridiculous. I mean, she had tremendous skill, great confidence. Blase. But going into that next fight, when I seen her walk to the ring, I remember sitting in the house with my brothers. I said, hey, this ain't gonna be no good night. I said, why you say that? Ronda come out. I said, listen, I know the feeling. I see the way she walking to the ring. That feeling of going back in that nightmare, you walking back to face that again. Not too many people are just going to, just like easily come back from that. It's very easy to be put back in that place. So as soon as she went in there and she tried to fight and she got that first shot, they hit her in the face, it automatically put her back in that place.
Yeah.
Automatically put her back in that place and everything went out the window.
You're talking after she lost already.
Yeah, that's right. After she lost
the
already.
Amanda Nunes fight, okay.
Yeah, after that fight. And then, after that, man, like it's very hard to really get back where you need to be, especially if you're that big of a star.
Yeah.
At that time, I was a big young star. You know what I mean? Like Fernando, huge star at the time. Ronda Rousey. And for something like that to happen on such a big stage.
Yeah, man.
That's a different type of shock to you. That's a different type of shock to you mentally, man. Like even if you feel invincible, you go home thinking a lot of different shit.
People get anxiety for lesser things, man. Especially when you got a whole event towards you, and
it's a different beast, man.
Andre, I gotta ask. Coming off the Floyd loss, right? The Floyd fight, obviously the biggest fight of your career, but you went into the rematch with Victor Ortiz. So mentally,
I got that clip, by the way, whenever you want it.
Mentally, we'll play that right after this. Mentally, where were you coming off a loss that you knew was the opportunity of your life, but going into a fight, like you said, that you knew you should have had the first time.
Yeah.
Where was your head at?
No, I was focused. I was extremely focused for this, for the second fight, with Victor. With the Floyd fight, of course, one thing with fighting Floyd, it's pretty much, they're letting you know from the jump, like you getting this opportunity to make history, but at the end of the day, all odds are against you. We got the referees, we got the judges, we got this, but we giving you a chance to fight on the biggest stage possible. Anything can happen. You know what I'm saying? So like it's stacked against you so much, and of course, just me, going into the Floyd fight, I really just wanted just to push the pace and just make sure he knew I was there. And if he slipped up, for 2 seconds, it was going to be a bad night for him. You know what I mean? But going into the Victor fight, I mean, that focus was just on a complete different level. Because, you know, it's something that I know. Yeah, I mean, of course, back then I probably couldn't speak about it because it was too much ego and, you know, all that type of shit. But I know, you know, mentally on how that kind of set me back throughout my career. And just me just being where I'm from and just having a father like I had and just understanding that it didn't matter, you know, what I went through. The only way to get past, you know what I mean, things like that, you have to keep attacking it. Have to. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep attacking it. So, you know, so that second fight going in with Victor, I mean, shit, it was 6 years. I've done been in the ring a handful of times after that. And, you know, I wasn't going to let that one right there pass me by. I had a tremendous training camp. And it's like I was just facing the man that helped. You know, that was the reason for a lot of the bullshit. And I wasn't going to let him get away this time. I was going to let you get away. I wasn't going to
Let's watch the clip.
Which one?
Trav, pull up the clip.
Which one? The second?
Second fight. I mean, yeah, no. This is the first fight.
Oh, the first fight.
6-round knockdown.
Yeah, you shouldn't have got up from that one.
Where did you
ready?
give me the clip?
Well, I got it. You know, screen share the computer. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
To this slow start for him, or is it just Ortiz?
I think it's Ortiz. Ortiz is fighting.
Oh my God,
that's crazy. I was so
that's
tired.
Emmanuel Stewart, man.
I was so man. That's crazy.
R.I.P.
Miss Manny. All right, we're going back to the clip, Trav. Sorry, it's just that voice. We were just talking about that, man. It's crazy.
That's crazy. I was so tired in this fight.
It is very difficult for him to see. And
He was one of the best announcers.
You know, speaking of 50 Cent, who was over there with Floyd
I
Mayweather
was
Jr.
so tired.
He used to box. He was the New York Golden Glove champion.
You hear him talking about 50 being in the crowd?
Hey, everybody was there. I'm like, what the fuck? Y'all trying to set me up?
Yeah, we was talking about that.
Here it comes. Right? I think it's right when you get out there.
The Golden Gloves.
You spin around.
National Golden Gloves champion.
Yes, but he was in New York Golden Gloves.
That ain't it.
Nah, here
You gonna be on the out.
How do you get up from that? How?
Yo, and he gets up bouncing.
Quick. Bro, he got up and I seen just slob come down his mouth. I'm like, what are you doing? What you on?
Yeah, man.
I was like, what are you on, my guy? That was crazy.
Dang.
I think his coach. One of his fighters is fighting my brother this weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, beat his
Kind of
ass.
crazy.
Wait, but the original coach with the mohawk?
Yeah.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
name Hoss or something?
I
like
think
Yeah,
that?
Hoss. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. I mean, like I say, man, a lot of that stuff, man, it's I mean, those things I couldn't even have a conversation about back then.
You went over the main question.
What it?
How'd you click with Al?
Oh, he was
'Cause,
trying to get in the man.
No, because you know what? If you think about it, like you are one of the very few fighters that speaks to him. Like
regular.
some of these guys don't get to speak to him, man.
It's crazy. Like his guys, like I say, I miss a lot of guys that signed when I ain't never seen him.
They haven't
they don't
seen
talk to
him.
him. It's crazy.
Bruh, we had an Al Haymon fighter. I had a show this morning. We had a show this morning like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And Al Haymon fighter was here, and he's happy. I love Al. He's doing. Did you meet him? Never met him.
Have you talked to him?
Never talked to
I
him.
ain't never talked to him.
Cold piece. I mean, I was Al's first kid that he got out of the amateurs. I'll say that. Like I was his first.
So he scouted you.
Yes, I was.
Wow.
My first fight, my first pro fight. Of course, you know, at the time coming out the Olympics in 2004, and I was one of the number one kids that everybody wanted because they know I had that pro style, and you know, all the promoters, managers wanted me at the time. And I ended up signing with Lou DiBella because, of course, I was doing my research and I wanted to be on HBO, and I know that Lou DiBella was
Former executive
his
over there.
former executive HBO, and at the time he had Jermaine Taylor, and you know, I looked at the rest of his roster. I'm like, I'm better than all these niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go over there, I'm gonna sign with him, I'm gonna knock somebody out, then I'm gonna end up fighting, you know, on Jermaine's co-main events. That's exactly why I put it together. That's exactly what happened. So I ended up doing it. I ended up signing with Lou. My first fight, we fight on Jermaine Taylor I think William Joppy. Yeah, Jermaine Taylor, William Joppy. I think it was in Arkansas, and I fought this kid, southpaw. I ended up knocking him out. Of course, all the HBO executives going crazy, everybody in the stadium going crazy, and then I get out the ring, I get this guy talking to me. Hey man, you need to talk to Al. And Haymon.
That's Sam?
I'm like, who
Is that your imitation of Sam Watson?
He's like, Al Haymon. Man, get off me, bro. Because I didn't have a manager at the time.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I mean? Like, the way I kind of strategize my situation. Like, man, I'm good enough. I don't need a manager to take, 10, 20%. I just want to deal straight with a promoter and I'm good. Mm-hmm. And then so he's talking to Al Haymon stuff in my ear, just going fast. I'm like, dude, who is this guy, man? Get him away from me. Like, I don't. So I go back in the dressing room, same thing. Al Haymon, I'm like, who is Al Haymon? I'm like, who are you? Like, what's going on?
How old are you, by the way?
Now?
No, then.
Then I had to be, what was I, 19, 20, something like that?
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah, this was 04, so
Yeah.
December 04.
Yeah.
19.
Something like that, yeah.
Sound like you, champ.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he was just on me, and then I leave, and I go back home, and I get a call on my phone. Hi, Andre. I'm like,
This is his Al impression.
yeah, it's Al Haymon. I'm like, oh, how you doing? What's going on? Hey, da-da-da. We went to speaking. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know what was what. And we spoke. We spoke on the phone for a while. We spoke on the phone the next few fights. He just kept saying he wanted to sign me, Nah, no, I didn't want a manager at the time. Like, a lot of people don't know this. There's a lot of, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't know that I spoke to Al on the phone for a year before I signed with him.
Wow.
So what was Lou saying, though? Because I'm sure Lou knew everything about Al at the time.
Yeah, like Lou even told me, like, if you want a manager, that's the guy that you need to get. You know what I mean? That's what he kept telling me. But like I said, at the time, I'm trying to keep as much money as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm good enough to keep knocking these guys out. I don't think I need a manager. I mean, Lou, you doing a great job. I got HBO. Like, this Al Haymon guy sounds cool. He's representing Jermaine. I think he ended up getting floored a little bit, later after that. But I'm like, I don't know if And we spoke on the phone for a year, man. We built up, I'm just a strong relationship, boxing, life, family. A lot of people don't know nothing about him, So, of course, everybody's in that L circle. Y'all know I'm keeping everything tight, too. So, of course, got a chance to get really good close with him, family, and everything else. So I felt like he really brought me into that inner circle, which everybody in the inner circle, y'all know what it is. So,
Secret society.
Secret society. You know what I mean? So
all we ask is trust.
You know what I mean? So So within within that, bro, after 8 months, 9 months. Him working with these other guys, and him telling me what he's going to do, for these other guys, and me seeing them happen in front of me. Like, no, make sure he get this fight. Like, watch this. No, watch, he gonna get paid this. He gonna get. I'm like, nah, no. And I'm seeing shit happen. I'm like, all right, bet. And at that point in my career, I'm going, I think I'm like 6-7-0. And then,
damn, he was talking to me 6-7-0.
Bro, he was talking to me my first fight. First fight. So, I was like 6-0. I think I was like 6-0, and that's when they had made it happen. He was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're gonna fight on Showbox. And after that, I don't want to see no one but HBO. That's what happened. I fought on Showbox. And I fought a kid. And after that, it was HBO and HBO After Dark after that. I'm getting paid.
HBO, man.
Hey,
I was getting, they was murdering me.
Bro, you beat Freddie Hernandez so easy.
Yeah.
You turned them into, like, for casual fans, he became a bum. And then Laura went like 10 rounds with him.
Crazy. It's crazy.
I know you
bro.
was sitting home like, see.
He called me and said, "You see that?" I said, "Yeah, I see it." I said, "Yeah, I see it." That's
Bro, because the way you blanked
him.
Freddie, everybody just ignored him after that.
It was
then,
bad.
he moved up too, and Laura could not do what you did.
Man, I'm talking, he was a beast, man. But like I said, I was a young killer. You know what I mean? They couldn't. The only thing I was thinking about, I'm getting this Floyd fight. We put Freddie Hernandez in front of you. I don't care. Let's go. He came in knocking, bing, bing. Said, all right, boop, boop. After that, they were like, okay, this kid is, okay, he's crazy. Like, he's out of there. I remember walking back in the tunnel to my dressing room, and I remember seeing all the security. Man, this kid, Lil Tyson, Mike Tyson, what Floyd at? We got to make it happen. I'm like, yeah, there we go. But, man, shit crazy.
Well, let me bring it back to the Floridian and Thurman and ask you guys, since you said, we're talking that knockout.
Yeah.
Is there any pressure for Thurman since Tank knocked out Barrios in 11 rounds?
I think there's always competition. Everybody wants to outdo everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about being a fighter. It's just you want to shine, man. You want to be pound for pound, and I think that's everybody's goal as a fighter. Be pound for pound.
Yeah, I think. Of course, since they've already been like comparing them to the fight, all that type of shit. So of course they're gonna compare it. And of course, I think it's a lot more pressure on Thurman for sure. He's been out for 2 years. Yeah. He's the true welterweight. And he's, he's calling out a lot of the other big guys. So, he's gonna have to put on a great performance, especially after what Tank, did. Like I said, but at the same time, Barrios, he's a beast too, man.
As fighters, do you guys think about that? Like,
What's that?
man, Tank got the knockout. I got to do better.
Coming up, that's how I was for sure. Okay. Like when I fought Stevie Forbes,
you want to do better than Oscar?
What? You couldn't tell me nothing back then. You couldn't tell
2
me
pounds.
You couldn't tell me nothing back then. I was like, he went the distance with. Okay, I gotta sleep this nigga. Like I gotta sleep him.
I love that
Oscar just fought
competitiveness.
him, I need to sleep him. I still remember when I was in training camp with what's his name, with Winky Wright. And I was training and I was sparring him every day. I think he was getting ready for William Dry. No, he was fighting Ike Cortez.
Okay.
And me being young, I know how big of a legend that Ike was. But I was in camp, sparring Winky. I'm going at it with him every day. And after I seen him beat Ike, I remember calling Lou up. I said, Lou, I need to fight Ike next. Like, I was talking like that, like crazy. I had like 5 fights. And I was dead serious. Like,
And those were super fights back then, man. Especially with my pops and Ike and Winky.
Man, that's some real killers.
That was a whole era, man. You step into any division, there was 5, 6, 7 killers in every division.
Man, now I'm sounding old, man. That's crazy. I sound old, man.
Andre, just from the outside looking in, right now you're speaking, your mentality coming up and whatnot. What young fighter reminds you of a young self like that you see today?
Man, Tank, to be honest. I think I say Tank because, he's so explosive. He's so strong. He has great IQ. But at the same time, that energy that he has around him right now when it comes to just the culture, you know what I'm saying, fucking with him like that. And I feel like that's how I was coming up. I had a lot of, my first fight, second fight, I got, Damon Dashes and, I got Puff, I got, Jay and everybody coming to my fights, Chris Brown's, So I had that hip hop energy around, all of my fights. And I think that was another thing that really kind of sparked me up, a lot faster than others, but definitely Tank because he's so explosive, man. And that's the way I fought. A lot of speed, a lot of power.
I got a super chat here from Big Supermax in Plainview, Texas for you. He says, for Berto, how do you think that Floyd Mayweather fight would have played out if you would have gotten it in 2011? And he doubling down. Will there be a trilogy for the Ortiz fight to finally retire him?
I think Ortiz is done. Listen, I ain't got no issue with Ortiz. That's the crazy thing about it. We good. He DMs me from time to time. You know what I mean? I wish the best for the kid. You know what I mean? But I don't like I said, I don't really see no reason for a third. I mean, I think the fans want it just because what happened the first time. But in my mind, it's like that shit shouldn't have happened the first time.
Ain't no way it's happening
It shouldn't
again.
have happened the first time. But like I said, I don't know. But you know, with the Floyd situation, man, yeah, I think about that a lot.
To this day?
Yeah,
To this day.
I still think about it from time to time. Like, damn, you know, what if that fight would have happened, you know, way back then? You know what I mean? But you know, I was a young dog. But shit, you know, Floyd was sharp. He
Are
was sharp
you
then, too.
a believer in that phrase? Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
What do you think
I mean,
that
even though
reason
you don't
was,
like
though?
it.
What do
Huh?
you think that reason was, though?
Man, I probably had to just go through some shit, man, because I was crazy. Like, I was a lot. Like, if you talk to Al and his team, I was a lot. Like, I
Really?
was, you know what I mean? He gave me a check. He gave me the $1 million check when I was damn 21 type shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, coming from nothing. Of course, I had great morals, but I really started feeling myself for a minute. Like, you know what I mean? Fight day, you know what I mean? I'd be at the front desk. If I walk in my room and I ain't got the biggest room in the hotel, Al, what's going on? Sylvia, what's happening? You know what I'm saying? And they kicked whoever out and I need to be in there. You know what I mean? It was like that, me moving around with 10, 15 guys and, you know what I'm saying? It ended up being like that. You know what I'm saying? So it probably, I mean, it is what it is.
So what you saying that, what do you think was the biggest takeaway that boxing taught you that applies to your everyday life?
But I think
Discipline.
You know, yeah, for sure. I tell you, I mean, me myself, I correlate boxing just with life, period. Especially now, anybody that follows me, you know, my social media, you know what I mean, they know that when it comes to hard work, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to focus, you know, I mean, I believe that's what you need with your everyday life, even if you're a school teacher, if you're a student, whatever the case it may be. Yeah. You understand? I mean, you just need to. And I think that boxing really prepared me, you know, just for life in general. It prepares guys for life because you just need to take all of those things that you learned, you know what I mean, in that gym and just apply it to that in every different way. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people kind of confuse it to a sense, but it's all the same. It's all the same. You know
how
what I mean?
bad you want it.
Yeah, that's it.
Really what it is.
It's you know what I mean, it's how bad you want it. It's you know what I mean, it's how much you want it, what you're willing to do to
It's a
you know,
cold
what you're willing
world
to
out here.
do to get it. You know what I'm saying? Get it done. Get it done. Buckle that shit up. Get it done.
Vargas, man, I wanted to double down on you speaking about your dad and the Trinidad story. Like the tone of voice you used, how long have you been hearing his feelings on that? Because you almost spoke about it like it was you. You almost had some anger in your voice, or I don't know. I felt something. I wanted to go back.
It isn't no anger. My dad's dealt with that a while ago, and you know, just as a human being, you know, like I said, people go through anxiety and things and depression for lesser things. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you're in a fight of that magnitude and you know, boxing is your everything, and you know, it could be like that, man. But you know, gratefully to God, you know, my dad put down the bottle, you know, and for his family, and there's no resent to, you know, everything happened in the past, you know, and right now my dad's just focused on, you know, his sons, and you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. I know, like I said, everywhere I want to get to, my pops has been, and you know, I know I could always go to him, hey pops, you know, this or that, or, hey, how do I cut weight here, or you know, and my pops be the first one to tell me, you know, hey, this guy's only here for this, or you know, it's a lot of things, man, like Andre was talking about, man, outside of boxing that affects you inside of boxing.
Talk about the, you know, obviously with your dad, he had, you know, Big G, right, and the significance that he played,
which is the father,
right, of Robert Garcia and Mikey
Mm-hmm.
Garcia. You know, and your father's always been very adamant on the importance that he played into his life, not just in boxing, but outside of boxing. You know, do you have something similar to that outside of your father? Because I see a very close relationship with like Jorge Capetillo, and I remember speaking to your father, and he's like, there's certain things I'll tell them, But if somebody else tells them, they'll listen. They won't listen when it comes from me, but they'll listen if it comes from somebody else.
I just think, Capetillo is obviously part of our team, man. He's a hell of a, coach, cut man, whatever we need him to be, man. He's there for us, man. It's love, But for me, aside from my father, my godfather, his name is Frankie Cassavetes. He, fought in the Vietnam War. He was my dad's strength and conditioning coach, nutritionist, and he stuck around, man. When people were still in here, this and that, blah blah blah. Hey, he was willing to give up his pay, when of 20-something grand. Hey, like everything cool, and just stuck by us through, thick and thin, and I could go for him for anything, man. Just life, and as well as my father, man. My dad never had a father, and it's just there's no guide to parenting, and I know, my dad's my dad, man. There's nobody like him, and he may kick my ass one day, but love me, 20 seconds after. So it's just like. That's what it is, man. Especially in Mexican households,
Absolutely.
It's you know what it is, bro. So,
right, absolutely.
So, yeah, man. But my pops is my pops. He's not just a fighter. He's my father, man. So
we got another super chat.
Same person.
Yeah, from
Big Super Mex in Plainview, Texas.
This time for Emiliano. He says, speaking of Trinidad, who do you and your father really think won De La Hoya versus Trinidad? He's saying his brother's saying that you're a dog in the gym.
I appreciate that, man. We train our ass off, man.
Absolutely.
Excuse my French. If anything, my dad has taught me is, and I'm actually on the other side of that. I've never looked in the fridge and there was nothing in the fridge. My pops, obviously gave us everything we needed and wanted as well, but to a certain extent, teaches values, morals, and everything like that, man. But at the end of the day, he taught us, hey, if you're going to mess with boxing, you're going to give 130% because that's what the sport demands of you. Every time I step in the ring, I'm messing with my life.
Facts.
Yeah. Being, incoherent, maybe losing eyesight, you hear about it, man. Fighters breaking eye sockets and, damaging this and that. And it's tough, man. It's tough, but I love it at the end of the day. It's just
Gotta
like,
love it.
it's so crazy, man. But it's just like, right now I'm actually debuting Cinco de Mayo, actually. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else knows that, but
breaking news.
Cinco de
Breaking
Mayo.
news.
Hold up. Cinco de Mayo. That's somebody else's day.
Cinco de Mayo, man. We have an amazing team, man, and we're working, and it's I've said bye to the amateurs. 130 fights, 7-time national champion, #1 in the country in different weight classes, and
nice.
It's just been my dad, supporting me and getting me to these tournaments and this and that, man, and my mother as well, man. She's a hell of a person. If it wasn't for my mother, we wouldn't be here, but I'm addicted to it, man. I love boxing. I love killing myself in the gym. My brothers as well. It's just a certain feeling. I know you share that as well, champ.
It's different, man.
It's, even when you're not fighting, you you got to get that work in. You
got to be a different type of. Gotta be a different type of animal to love this shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I was gonna ask you, like you said, you didn't have to go through nothing being in the fridge. There was food, man. So why are you doing this?
Well, and I get that question a lot too, and it's like, man, my parents started putting this in basketball, football, tennis, whatever, everything except boxing, man. But my dad had a conversation with my godfather, Frankie Cassavetes, and he goes, how do I want my kids to box and this and that, and then my godfather Frankie goes, who's gonna tell your kids they can't be like their father? And not just that, man. It's just we love him, man. Even if I try to get away from boxing, I couldn't. It's just so embedded in my family, like as a culture, as as a I don't know, it's just something about Mexican boxing and you know, just fighting and man, Christmas holidays, you know, we'll be all dressed up, and then at the end of the night, somebody got a bloody nose and this and that. And, you know, it's just
that's
like,
a Hispanic household for sure.
It's just with the fighting too, man, in boxing, especially with my father, man, I couldn't run away from him even if I tried.
Bro, that Fernando era was like that, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Seeing him fight, because he had that chip on his shoulder that was so crazy. Man, he was in the ring, just was so cocky with it, but he had this type of, you know, he wasn't the typical just Mexican fighter. The way he looked, the way he fought, you know what I'm saying? He fought with this swag about him, you know what I mean? This chip on his shoulder at the same time that just made it just, you know, just to grab everybody's attention. You understand me? So that shit was...
And we're looking to bring that back, man. It's just like, I feel like, you know, during that era, it was just like... And a lot of good fighters are coming up right now, too, man. A lot of good fighters. And I'm just excited. Like, I know when I step in the ring, you know, I captivate audiences at the end of the day, you know. And I'm just excited to get in the ring because I'm going to be able to have... families and you know, cooking carne asada, or you know, excited about
fight parties, man,
placing bets, and you know, it's just like have that place jumping, because at the end of the day, the electricity that, you know, my father carried throughout, you know, those weekends of boxing and fighting, and you know, it's just, you were hyped to see the fight. You know, you hear about fights now, you're like, oh, he's fighting? Like, you know, like, you know, it's just like, oh, I didn't know, but it's just, and that's before social media. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I gotta come. I always tell my pops that. Like, I was like, pops, you have MySpace, and you know, you still get it jumping, man, and you know, you always gotta pay homage, man. My pops did his thing, and you know, I really didn't. I don't really have to go to struggle, you know. But the thing is, I guarantee you, in a dogfight, it's in my blood, man. It's just like, I can't, you know. And I get that a lot, you know. You never been through nothing, and this and that. You don't got this. And I'm sure, man. You know, I commend anybody who comes from nothing. You know, I commend that, man, because that takes an extra type of grit. You know, and hey, I may never know that, but I know if I were to get knocked down, I'm gonna get right back up.
I gotta ask for yourself. Obviously, I'm sure you and your father and just you and your brothers have sat down and watched probably all of your dad's fights.
Have you?
Yeah, we have, man. We have. I mean, it's just like,
shit was jumping.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, hey, there's a lot of classic fights, man. Win, lose, or draw. You know, my pops, hey, he did his thing, man. Just captivating audiences, having that thing jumping, and you know, why wouldn't I want to? You know, you feel that it's crazy. I feel the electricity like through like YouTube. Absolutely, like, you know what I'm saying? You get hype, like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
I was just gonna get at that. My favorite moment when he fought Yuri Boy Campa, and Campas doesn't get up. You know, I think it was after the 6th or 7th round, and it was the IBF. And your dad's just jumping. He jumps on Big G, just the excitement, you know, to become world champion. What is your favorite moment of your father's career? Like one that, you know, gives you goosebumps. One that, you know, you're like, you can go back and rewatch, and you know.
It's that one, man. It's the Yoruba Campas. It's you know, and I can't wait to feel that feeling, man. I get goosebumps right now, man. It's just like, you know, and the new, you know, and I know you already know that feeling, champ. It's just like, you know, when it comes to boxing, you know, or just anything in general, I want to be the best at it, you know, and for me, you know, winning national championships and, you know, and the new and this year's, you know, it's the same feeling. But when you have all eyes on you and this everything you've been working for your whole life, you know, is. I can't even imagine it. You know, my dad just, you could see the emotion in his face. You could see the emotion in any fighter's face. You go to any fighters, and the new,
absolutely,
crying, breaking down, hugging. you know, it's just
You say that, and what comes to mind is Ishe Smith.
yeah. I was just about to say that, man.
We in Vegas, baby.
I was about to say that, man.
Oh Lord,
Yeah, it was
Isha,
crazy.
Beautiful
man.
moment.
That was
Yeah, it's
And
just,
even Floyd was crying. Low-key.
Yeah, that was in Detroit in K9's backyard.
Yeah.
Champ, what was that moment like? You know,
yeah, man.
Man, you know me, man. Coming from where I come from, shit. I mean, man. I mean, that was a big feeling. I mean, I think I won mine in, I don't know where it was, Memphis, Tennessee, against, I don't know, I forgot his name.
How you sleep that night? That's all I want
how
to
you
know.
how you forget the how you forget the name?
He slept with the belt.
I slept with a belt that night. I had that.
Did you ever take it? I feel like, and I hope it's either you or Collazo.
This guy know too much about me.
Did you ever take it to the club?
Huh?
Did you ever take that WBC belt to the club?
You know, no, that wasn't me.
You sure?
You know, he used to do that all the time. Jean Pascal used to do that all the time.
Well, I'm thinking it's either you or Collazo had that belt in the club.
It had to be. Because, you know, my face did it all. You know, my face was my ID. I didn't even need no belt. They knew what it was. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that shit is, man, it's an amazing feeling, man. It's an amazing feeling because, of course, all the hard work and you know, just being a young kid.
Yeah.
Starting from the amateurs and always sitting, you know, back and just dreaming about that moment. Of course, me at my time, I'm watching guys like Floyd. I'm watching, you know, Mike Tyson. I'm watching De La Hoya. You know what I mean? And of course, just the atmosphere. You know, they fought in. Of course, winning those titles, that was something that I just needed to have. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people talk about it. But actually going through that process, it's a different beast.
No, it's a
You know
long
what I mean?
road.
It's a long road. Amateurs, like I said, I had 300 amateur fights. He had, you know, 100-something amateur fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you really have to put in, you really got to put in that real work.
Yeah, man.
Then we turn pro. We got to start over. We got to do that shit again.
Yeah, start over.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
We
really
gotta,
what it is.
and we got to prove ourselves to be able to do that. And I'm talking about when I'm talking about this fight game and just everything it takes and just the mental, the physical. I mean, I've seen guys in that dressing room, you know, break down before fight time. You know, to be in that dressing room, bro, to hear that crowd, you know, out there before you, to see guys warm up before you and go out there, come back, cuts, bleeding, and knowing that you about to go out there in that lion's den. And at the same time, a lot of times these promoters, they put you in a dressing room right next to the guy you're fighting. So you hear it.
The next door. You hearing his pad work.
Yeah. So you hearing the pad work. You hearing his team. Yeah. Let's go kill him. You know what I mean? Like when I was coming up, I had guys banging on the wall like, we knocking you out.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? Like all that anxiety and that anticipation. I've literally seen guys with their gloves on and just like get their head down and say, man, you know, take this shit off. And walk out. I've seen that happen at least 3 times.
Wow.
And walk out.
What was my man that got to the ring and then walked away with F.A. Jogger?
Yeah, he was like he's like a heavyweight.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Cooper was
something
I
like
don't know,
that.
something like that.
that was in Minneapolis.
That was crazy.
That was FA.
I've been waiting for a minute to ask you this. You know, he brought up, you know, being 19 or 21
I was 19, 21.
with $1 million. I was just in San Diego at Benavidez' camp, and he's, you know, obviously we touched on, bro, you lost your belt. He said the same thing. I was 20, and I've been getting paid this good since I was 20. I'm 25. I made some mistakes.
Yeah.
You spoke about your dad and his hard road. How do you plan on navigating it? Obviously, you may still have your own, as Latinos say, tromposones, right? But you know, I'm hoping you're putting a plan together not to go through something like that.
Look, man, I'm grateful for, you know, all the wins and all the losses, man, in and outside of the ring. You know, my dad says the same thing, man. It's just like I'm able to soak everything up and run with it. Right. You know, and especially right now, gratefully to God, you know, we've had every promoter come and talk to us, man. And this contract that we're about to sign, actually I think next week, is something that's never been done before. You know, I made the decision myself. You know, they asked me, because I have, you know, the most accolades out of my brothers. You wanna sign with your brothers, or you wanna sign by yourself? You know, and you know, you X amount of dollars here, X amount of dollars here. I said, I want to sign with my brothers. Why? Because I like who I see in the mirror at the end of the day, that I'm not doing any of my brothers wrong.
So Tom Loeffler?
And no, no.
Whoa, he throwing out names. He's crazy.
Hey, Tom Loeffler, he's
crazy.
he's a hell of a guy. You know, we were working with him for a bit. We got nothing but love for him. He's, you know, always showing us love. But we're under our manager is Egis Klimas. Egis Klimas is
wow.
Lomachenko
What a curveball.
And Lomachenko.
And,
Usyk. And man, it's just
he's got a bunch of people.
And our guy Jose de la Cruz, he works with Linares. So we got a team going on, man. We got Loretta Lucero, who's Canelo's marketing agent as well, and it's just we're doing some crazy stuff, man. Our guy Herman Flores, that we got a great team, man. That's something that my dad lacked, you know. And like I said, every loss, every, you know, L inside of the ring is just, you know, we're creating a powerhouse, man. And I'm so excited because this contract is something that's never been done before. It's 3 brothers on one contract, you know, 3 promoters. I mean, 1 promoter, 3 brothers under one contract, and they usually sign them separately. Maybe sign 2, you know, or sign both of them but separate contracts, you know. And
so, explain to me and the audience some of the differences. What's the difference in signing separate contracts, and how was this unique and I guess better for you and your brothers to be all on the same contract?
Right. So I don't want to expose too many things because there's going to be a huge announcement, but. It's just, you know, obviously purse, pay, signing bonus, you know, everything's different. Obviously, you know, gratefully to God, you know, they were telling us that, you know, if I were to sign by myself, you know, I'd get X amount of dollars, you know, and this signing is going to break history as well. So, it's just, it's a blessing, man. I stick to my guns, and, you know, I'm going to sign with my brothers, and, you know, it's a beautiful thing when you're able to, you know, have your family, your brothers part of this business. You know, this is at the end of the day, it's a way of life, and it's a business at the end of the day, because, you know, like I said, you're a racehorse, man. You don't want to wake up one day and, you know, my back is hurting, you know, I can't fight, and you're done. You know, and you know, the money that you fought for is already spent. You know, the money that you put in hours in the gym for, you know, is on your wrist. You know, it's you know, it's not gonna do you no good, man. So, I mean, like I said, we got a powerhouse of a team, man, and this year, you know, if you haven't heard of the Vargas Dynasty, you will. You know, it's me and my 2 older brothers, and I'm very excited for my debut, man. I'm just, you know, I'm pent up. I'm like, you know, hey, you know, Cinco de Mayo, like, can we do something sooner? They're like, you know, you don't got to rush anything, man. You know, especially Cinco de Mayo is such a huge weekend for Mexicans, you know, Mexican boxing. And I'm just very excited. I know what I could do in the ring. You know, if there's one thing we could do is fight, me and my brothers. So, I just can't wait for the world to see, man. And, you know, if you haven't heard of the Vargas Dynasty, I guarantee you will.
Talk to us. We Nestor and I were speaking about how some fighters having that name from their father has benefited them, but a lot of them, they weren't able to take advantage of the opportunity. They may have took the opportunity for granted. I know you and your brothers have spoke about making a name for yourselves. What does that mean to you? Because obviously it is an honor to be the son of Fernando Vargas, but you still want to make a name for Emiliano Vargas, right?
Of course. Look, I say it like this, man. It's whatever you want to do with it. You know, it's whatever you want to do with it, and that's with anything in life. Everybody's dealt with different cards. If you want to, you know, you got people coming from wealthy families that lose it all because it's so easy, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing, especially with people in my position or sons of fighters. You know, it's so easy to get signed. It's hard to stay focused. It's hard to be in the gym. It's hard to. They're gonna sign me anyways. You know,
kids intelligent at 17, bro. So mature.
And it's real though, because you know look in the reality of things. I dedicated myself to this sport since the age of 10 years old. You know, and full-heartedly because I know what it is because of my father. I've seen it. You know, him being carried out of the sauna. You know, I've seen him. You know, drained. You know, eating. You know, it's just.
Ice chips.
Yeah, man. It's ice
tough,
water, man. And then you still spit it out, you know? So it's like, it's a hell of a sport, man. It's dirty. It's crazy. But, you know, I love it so much, man. And you know, I don't believe it's a burden, man. I believe this name is whatever you make it, man.
Absolutely.
It's a blessing.
Definitely.
And either
I think
you gotta
it's an
ride
advantage.
with it, man. Yeah, man. You gotta ride with it, man.
But same thing he's saying is knowing how to take advantage of it,
Exactly.
right?
Man.
Having that drive, having
but you
that
can
will.
tell. You can tell.
No,
that
absolutely.
He knows. I mean,
Absolutely.
he spoke about it when he said my father didn't have social media, and that's another thing. He and I were in the car, and I'm like, bro, this kid's 17 with 162,000. I think it was. I checked.
92.
That's insane.
Yeah. It's just the beginning.
17.
That's what I'm saying. So, you know. I mean,
No, but that, I mean,
just
look,
beginning
that,
with it.
yeah.
But he's doing it right, though. Because, like I said, I've had conversations with all these guys all the time. I'm like, bro, like, y'all understand how, like, easy y'all have it now?
Yeah.
Like,
you get paid for eating food on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like millions of dollars. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, y'all
Yeah.
got this now. We ain't have this shit. Like, you really don't need a promoter like that. If you got, you got 1 million followers on here, you know what time it is. I mean, these networks going to pay.
But I think that also comes with, like I said earlier, is knowing how to talk.
Knowing how to be savvy in front of that mic.
I have to.
I can't tell you how many times I'm doing an interview with somebody, and I got to get crafty. I got to get creative.
Yeah.
Creative.
I'm learning.
You pulling teeth. You
I'm
pulling
learning.
teeth.
I'm like, oh, they just had his daughter's second birthday party last week.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, you got to get creative because some of these fights, they just you got, it's like he said, like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Andre, if you could, you know, as a veteran, as how you said they call you as an OG.
Man, I'm old, man. That's crazy.
If you could, what would be a piece of advice from your story that you could give to Emiliano right here?
Yeah, I'm learning chips, man. I'm taking chips with me right now.
I mean, just the main thing, bro. Just stay focused. Just stay focused because at the end of the day, you know, I mean, it's great to know, but it's a completely different situation once you have.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Once you have it, you know, a lot of these things go into question. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can have somebody next to you that's real faithful, but you give them $100,000, you're gonna really see how you act. You know what I'm saying? So with you, I mean, of course, I felt like I was focused coming in too. You know what I'm saying? I had a whole game plan. But after a while, if I keep seeing this money stack up in my account, after a while, I might go touch this. I might indulge in this a little bit. Now, if I don't want to indulge in it some more, then I'm really enjoying it. But so just the main thing is just to stay focused and continue to, just to stay focused on the plan. That's why I tell all these young guys, just stay focused, bro. Because everything is going to come. Yeah. Just continue to understand who you are and what you're able to do. Everything that you want is going to come, but just stay focused, bro. That's it.
I appreciate that.
Stay focused.
I appreciate that, Sean.
So, just for perspective, 192.
Yeah. Terence
Crawford is at 752.
He just said 91 or 92, right?
Yeah, he said 190. You said 192.
Yeah,
I got you pulled up. Hold on.
I thought
193. Uh oh.
He went up.
He went up another 1,000
since he's been on the show.
Yeah.
You said Terence Crawford how many?
725.
That's awesome, man.
No, I mean, look, we just had
social media is powerful.
I just spoke to somebody that's on the pay-per-view, like not just on the card Saturday, but on the pay-per-view portion. Not even verified, and got like 2,000, 3,000.
Who's that?
Yeah.
What? You giving me that stare? Like,
No, I don't want to. Yeah.
you put him out there. Let's get him some follows. I mean, what's
I'll give him a shout out.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we had him on the show earlier, but no. It's,
Luke?
Yeah, Luke. You
That's
know what I'm saying?
right. Yo, shout out to Luke Santamaria,
Shout
man.
out to Luke Santamaria.
He trains
I got you with a shout out, Luke.
He trains with Javier, the cousin of Jorge.
Oh, cool,
Yeah, he's on the
That's dope,
card.
man.
He's on the card. That's Javier's fighter, man. Luke is he's actually nice, man.
It's awesome.
He got that last big win over Devin Alexander in his last time out. Hopefully he looks good because man, they've been having him on what's the word he used?
Short notice.
Standby
because of the
last
pandemic.
3 fights has been. He's just been ready, bro.
But-
Been one of them. Just stay ready shit.
but-
I hate it.
Yo, that never happened to you.
One time,
Really?
my second pro fight.
Oh, okay, but that's before Al.
Yeah.
You ain't never had that problem with
I
Al.
did that one time. That was crazy.
But he was saying in December and then like September, October, that they basically told him like get ready, get in camp, you're at standby. Ended up not fighting
For 2 fights.
For 2
I ain't
fights.
never did that.
And then he got the call. They told him the same thing for this one, and he ended up getting a call like a week ago.
Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
That's what you don't got to go through.
I think that's what happened with Teofimo, man. With that whole Triller and
Teo,
canceling
man.
6 times,
Yeah, I
6, 7
imagine.
times. Look, man. Teofimo's a dog.
He was in camp too
But-
long.
Teofimo
Beast,
is
man. He
a
a beast.
beast.
He a
But
beast,
I'm
man.
talking sharp, but you could tell the difference. You know, Teofimo's throwing jabs and not moving or
And
like
I think he just got
catching
too
or
emotional too because that first round coming out like he did.
yeah.
He really tried to live up to I'm going to knock him out in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, after being on for that time, we just can't get caught up in all the bullshit. You know what I mean? Go in and handle your business like you need to do it because he's a dog.
Yeah.
Teo is a dog, man. So it was
Hey, Cambosis was just hungry, man.
he
Yeah.
was.
But
This sport is amazing.
It's like
man.
Emiliano just said, it got canceled 6 times. It got to him. Well, it got canceled 6 times for George Cambosos too. You get what I'm saying? It's like Andre said earlier.
And he stood in America. He had a baby.
Yeah.
His family and wife is in Australia.
Mental-
Hey,
He
that's
stood
another type of
lasered
focus,
in.
man.
like
Yeah,
like
down
you just
there.
said, it's 90%
Bro,
mental.
it was
Like yo,
90% mental. 90%
Can't lose.
mental. Bro.
And you got, I mean, look, none of us are in Teo's mind or body, but he had to have been overlooking Cambosos. Come on, man.
For me, I think that, he thought it was going to get canceled again, whatever the case may be.
No way.
He's that out.
Hey,
No, not after the Triller. After Triller dropped the ball, everybody know Dazn got that money.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Dazn got that money. They was the backup bid.
I don't know, man.
They was gonna make it happen. Cambosis just came ready.
Right, he dropped him in the first round.
Cambosis just was
I was
like-
showering, man. I was like, the fight was on. Everybody was downstairs. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, hopefully this Triller thing, blah, blah, blah. Then my girl comes running upstairs and like, like they're screaming, right? And I'm like, Teo knocked him out.
Teo.
I was like, I knew it. I was like, you didn't even got to tell me. I told you because, my girl's getting into boxing, whatever. Obviously she's in my life. Hey, this is, so it's like, But I was like, wait, Teo got dropped? I was like, wait.
Bro, that back leg gave out.
You don't know how fast I turned off the shower, hopped out. I was combing my hair while I was going downstairs. And, bro, I was like, in front of the TV.
It was crazy.
I was ringside, right? So of course they got like the media section, roped off, all the media in the same area. And so we're in New York. They got the vaccine mandate and the mask, everything.
What is that, man? I'm from Florida, man.
We don't know about that, man.
Nah, but
Texas,
look,
We ain't with all that.
but we're ringside, and obviously you can't see our mouth move because we got the mask in front of it, and all the media's like saying to each other at the end of the fight, they're like, "Yo, they're gonna rob George. They're gonna rob George."
Wow.
I am shocked
That he got the win.
that they gave it to
I
him.
thought I was
Really?
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Boxing
Yeah,
gets it
but-
wrong a lot, man.
Yeah, they do, but I didn't think they was gonna take it. They couldn't.
Hey, that's
They
history
couldn't.
though for Australia.
I gotta ask you guys,
That was
both of
big.
you being here, have you watched the Gary Russell last fight? Either one of you?
No.
I didn't.
Damn.
I didn't.
I think you're the only one in this room that watched.
Yeah, I seen he lost. I didn't like
Bro, is the Gary? You gotta watch it because you suffered that same. But I'm not gonna say same injury.
Injured?
Bro, he had one arm. I think they robbed Gary, man.
Really?
I think they took it. Wow. Bro, he fight once every 2 years. I think they just was like, listen, Al, I know that's your guy, but we need this belt back.
Yeah. That's how a lot of politics work too now.
Bro, one hand, he was triple straights.
Really?
I don't know how. I don't know, man. I mean,
Really?
I think he did his thing with one hand. Listen, and people. All right, so even if you don't think he won, how can you call it a tight fight? The man had one hand, so he had to have one. If you think it's a tight fight and he only had one hand, that means the motherfucker won.
He won for the whole fight?
But after like the third, his right arm was gone.
Really?
Now Masiago trying to take credit to that was the game plan. We punched him in the shoulder. He's a little replay running around Instagram. He punched him in the shoulder.
I think I sparred with him.
Marciago,
I think so.
He's Philippine.
Yeah.
Freddie's fighter.
I think so. I've sparred a lot.
Supposedly a puncher.
Man, he looked big. He thought he was
He ain't hurt Gary.
No.
I mean, he hurt him to the shoulder.
Damn.
That's the first time he made a face because he got hit. Boom, right in the shoulder.
You know what? That's the fight I always wanted to see. I wanted to see Gary and Tank go.
You and me both, man.
I wanted to
Gary
see
got
Tank
so
go.
many. I don't even understand how Tank, who's so young and in, like you said, involved in the culture, never even responds to. I mean, Gary has talked crazy out here.
How old is he now?
Gary?
Yeah.
The right age? It's definitely time for Tank to take him on, man. But I'm going to look it up.
Me feel old. That's crazy.
Gary Russell.
We about 30.
He's from the 2008 Olympics.
You're going to get like 10 different ages because they're all Gary Russell.
True. Nah, but he's the most popular. He comes up the first Google search. He's 33. The same age as Crawford.
Yeah.
That was a good fight, man. That was a good fight. One day when you you should watch it because obviously you fought Karas with one arm.
I did do that. And man, I went into that fight. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it because I was feeling it. I was feeling it like the last 2 weeks of camp. I'm like, all right, y'all just keep massaging it. I'm going to be good. I said, I'm going to have these small gloves on, so it's either going to go one or the other way. I'm like, either I'm going to hit Karas and I'm going to knock him out, or I'm going to hit him and this shit is going to just completely tear. Because I'm in camp, I'm wearing 20s. Like I train with 20s. Yeah. I'm hitting the bag and I'm hitting the mitts. I'm like, I think I'm cool. I'm straight. But I knew as soon as the fight happened, we put those small gloves on, it's either gonna go one way or the other. Either I'm gonna hit him and this shit's gonna get finished ripping because I've been feeling the pinch all through like last 3 weeks of camp. I said, or I'm finna catch him and clip him because I was, he's too easy to hit. I'm like, I'm gonna clip him and knock him out. Or shit, if it go left, it's gonna go left.
See, Gary actually told people he had a hurt shoulder going into the fight.
Yeah.
You know?
See, I didn't say that. And that's one issue that me and Al always has. You know what I mean? Because this has happened a few times. I always go into, these fights hurt. Like even, which one? This one, you see stitches right here? Mm-hmm. I broke this 3-4 weeks before a fight.
Big fight?
I fought Freddie.
Oh, okay. Hernandez.
Fought Freddie.
Damn.
I broke it during camp. I was sparring one of my sparring partners. I'm going to the body. I tried to hit him with a hard body shot. He blocked it with his elbow. The bone pops out. I'm like, jeez. I'm pushing it back in. It pops out. I push it back in. I go to the doctor. And, like, well, I'm fighting in like 3 weeks. He's like, well, I guess you're not. You know what I mean? Just make sure you come tomorrow. Yeah, make sure you come tomorrow and we go ahead and set up this appointment. You need to have the surgery, put it back in. I'm like, this is crazy. I've been in camp for 6 weeks. You bullshit. I left. I didn't go back. I was in camp. That was my last day sparring. I just kept trying to push the bone in. And I just taped it. I taped it like that. And then, just ended up just going all the way till fight time. I ended up getting like one of the doctors. They did some shit. I don't know if they, I think we got some type of pass that they can, they was trying to do like the, I guess the hand exams. They were pushing it, and I'm holding everything together. I didn't want to show any type of expression from it. We wrapped it up and fought, and thank God.
Wow. Big right hand.
That same hand. That same hand. Clipped him. I left. Went back to the dressing room. Man, I think I broke my hand. and they had to pay for it, insurance wise to get it done. That's how you do it if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yo, there you go. Get some game for you right there.
Man. End up getting the
My last amateur fight, I fought with frostbite on my hand, bro.
Frostbite?
Frostbite like that.
That's crazy.
How'd you get frostbite?
Cryotherapy, all that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I should sue them, man.
Don't you gotta wear the gloves when you get in the chamber?
Look, I told this guy shit. I asked him like 4 or 5 times. I said, look, my hands bother me a little bit. You think if I take off my gloves, I'll be good? I asked him like 4 or 5 times. He's like, yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. Get in there, blah, blah, blah. I go in there, bro, after this is all like, this is like a week before my fight. Like a week before my fight. And like, I was just like, I'm gonna fight with one hand. Like, this is, this is gonna be my last amateur tournament, whatever. Let's do it. Let's a little excitement. Let's have a little excitement. You know what I'm saying? So I do it. First day, the guy doesn't want to fight me. Second day, I fight, and I come out with a win, and man, I fought him with one hand, and it wasn't too crazy. It wasn't too crazy, man. So
that's one thing people don't realize, man. You rarely see fighters that really go into the ring 100%. You rarely see fighters really going there 100%, feeling like no nicks, no bruises, and just feeling like they're ready to fight.
Because you put yourself through hell in training camp, man.
It's almost impossible,
man. That's tougher than the fight.
Yeah, it is.
That's never tougher than the fight.
It's almost impossible, though, right? At the top level to really go in 100.
100%. You talking about you a training camp for 8 weeks. And you got, 3-4 different sparring partners, 3 days a week, really trying to knock you out.
Fresh guys, too.
Fresh guys, really trying to knock you out every week. You know what I mean? You got to try to keep everything together. They hitting you with some of everything. And just a lot of us that really like going hard in camp, we put, like I said, we put money on our own heads. You knock us down, we give you $1,000. Just to really try to bring that extra. You know what I mean? So just imagine that, man, for 8, just 8 to 10 weeks going through that and going through all the other working out. Like a lot of these guys, man, we don't go in there 100%.
My pops goes, no training camp is perfect. No training camp is perfect. Even outside of boxing, not just your training, but just, family things and this
Anything
and that.
Can happen,
It's just,
everything can happen.
It's funny you say that, Andre, because what was Freddie paying? I think, was it $5,000? For anybody who could knock Pacquiao
down,
$5,000.
My pops did 10.
That's crazy.
My pops,
10?
$10,000 bonus if you would have hurt my pops.
Wow.
In sparring?
Yeah, hurt my pops, or the guy to give him the best work would get $10,000 bonus at the end of camp. And my pops would send people off the mountain like, hey, I gotta go. Like
you gotta do that, man, to keep that energy up.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Especially if you a dog already. You can. A lot of these training camp guys, they fold it up. They don't give you that work, and you're paying them for it. You gotta send them home. Send them home. Give them that incentive. Like to really step it up.
And my pops did 10.
That's crazy.
My pops
10?
10.
Oh shit, my bad, fellas. But that is our magic warning. I know both of you guys are pressed for time. You got your family in the bubble, and you just made it back to Vegas, man. So we appreciate your time. Man, I want both of you to give out your social media, obviously. Don't forget to shout out Luke Santamaria on both of y'all social media.
Send me his IG, man. Let's do it.
Let's get my man up, man.
So yeah, man, just let the world know where to follow you guys and any projects you might have going on. Berto, I know you're doing a lot. If you want to,
I got everything going on. Y'all gonna see it soon. But yeah, man, definitely follow me on all my social, handles, man. At my name, at Andre Berto. If you don't follow me already, you're asleep.
You're crazy.
You're asleep,
man.
Come on, man.
Go ahead and follow me at Emiliano F. Vargas on all social media platforms. Get you some Vargas boxing merch.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Be ready for my debut, Cinco de Mayo, and be ready for this weekend. It's a Vargas takeover, man. So if you're not ready, get ready. Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been another episode of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Jordan Baker in Florida, the Floridian, coming through with the $20 super chat saying that the show was fire. We appreciate you just like I appreciate both these guests. Madison, thank you for all the help bringing these guys in. This was a wonderful episode. Till the next one, Arrivederci. Obviously,
Ringwalk Danny at Ringwalk Danny. Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Gentlemen, that was
a hell of a
amazing.
show, man.
Wow.